everything, one, check. Everything I do, pack a punch, back it up, stack it up to the sky, now rack it up, planet of the brakes, won't sink, just swim.
What is going on, guys? It is Nelson over here at NVS Customs. We're filming another day in the life. This is episode 3. Appreciate you guys tuning back in. We don't really have too much of an eventful day today. I think we had 4 no-shows. Seems to be the common thing. It's been very rough these past couple of weeks, but we're going to bring you guys along and show you guys what we have going on today.
The pyro hits from the 213 to the 416, yeah. Opposition.
One of the projects we have in the shop this week would be this 2024 C8 Corvette. It came in and it's getting full front end PPF. We already did the hood, we did the headlights, we still got to do the front bumper and the fenders. This is a service we started offering not too long ago. It's very good for people who either A, want to keep their car for a while, B, want to make sure that they don't get rock chips in it. Especially if you drive out of town, live out of town, and you drive your vehicle a lot. It's a really good solution because it's going to help it protect from rock chips, right? So the cost of putting the film on isn't the cheapest. So if you're just looking for a cheap kind of service, this isn't for you. But it's really good if you want to protect your investment, right? If you drive a lot on the highway, the nice thing is the film can take the damage instead of the car, and then you don't have to worry about getting it repainted, making sure it matches and everything like that. So this guy plans on keeping his car for a while. He wants to keep it in good condition. So that's why we went ahead and just ended up doing a full front end on it. But we have that going on today. I think we also have a 2026 Ram 1500 we're doing some tint on. And also a Tahoe, I believe we're doing some removal and reinstallation. So we have some interesting things going on for today. So I was completely wrong. It's not a 26 Ram, it's a 2021 Ram. But this customer is going to get the front 2 windows and match the back ones. So like usual, it already has a privacy glass on the back. So in order to match it, we got to do 20%. So we're doing that on the front 2. And he also chose to add the windshield. We're doing 50% on the whole windshield. So he'll be matched up, get a little bit of more heat protection and privacy. Unfortunately, since he opted out of doing the back windows, he is going to have uneven protection. So there's going to be heat protection and UV protection in the front, but there won't be any in the back. So a lot of customers forget that even though this is dark, it doesn't mean that you get heat or UV protection. So if he chooses in the long run to add it, he can always add a clear film and it'll match the front ones, or he can go darker. But yeah, just don't forget, back half, no heat protection. This truck, we will be able to bottom load. So we just got to pull the top of the panel back. It's always scary. Pull the panel back and we'll pull the seal out. Just like that. And it should make the install a breeze, make it 10 times easier. That way we can just drop it in instead of having to tuck it in and do all that stuff. But yeah. No, come here real quick. Here, show them this. So if you guys look right here on the inside of the seal, you see where it has like white crud and all that stuff in there? You gotta like go through and wipe it down, or else all this will get inside the tint. So you go through, wrap a rag with like a plastic trim tool and wipe it all down. All this stuff right here is stuff that will wash into the tint. So in order to prevent it, just go through, clean the seals out, get all that dirty grime away on all the windows that you tint. It's a cheat code right there. I didn't know that for years. Then one day, I kept getting trash on like the sides and I couldn't figure out why. And then I don't know why, it just dawned on me to do this. And it was like game changing. It was like, whoa, clean your seals out. So like I mentioned earlier, this customer's getting 50% on the windshield. So what we're doing right now is we're molding the film to the curvature of the glass. So if you see these big things over here, they're called fingers. And if we were to just stick it inside without shrinking it, we'd get this on the inside. So what we're doing is we're using a heat gun, shrinking it. It's making the film tight so it can shape to the curvature of the glass. And then once we finish doing this, we'll prep the inside and everything so we can install it. Yeah. Right here, it's all reliable. It's the best employee I've ever hired. So once the plotter gets done cutting the pattern out for us, it doesn't just end there. We don't just like magically take it from there to the car. We got to bring it to the peel boards, and over here what we do is we trim all the fat off. So we cut all the extra material out, We just want to make sure that whenever we trim it out, we don't go into the pattern because then it will ruin the pattern for us. We go through, trace it, get all the fat off. Then we got to do one more right here down the middle so we can separate the two doors because they were cut together. And then we wet our patterns. Once the patterns are wet, we flip it around. And boom. There we have one door. This right here, the reason why I flipped it is so the clear side could be facing me. That's going to be the clear liner that we pull off so we can stick that on the window. And then rule of thumb is clear side always faces you on the outside of the car. So that lets me know that this right here is going to be the driver's front door. And then this right here is going to be the passenger front door. And then we just have one more last step, the little fat that we didn't trim earlier because we didn't want to get too close to the pattern. We left that on the outside. So we go through and we trim that. And since we're bottom loading, we don't have to worry about shrinking anything. So these two patterns are ready to go to the windows and get installed. A lot of people will call and ask about this new tint and how long it takes to roll down this new tint. It still takes the same 3 to 5 days. The game that we're playing is a weather game, right? So the warmer it is, the quicker it's going to dry. The cooler it is, the longer it's going to take to dry. When the film gets applied, it has to get applied with the soapy water, right? So no matter how much we squeegee the window, there's still going to be moisture left between the film and the glass. We could squeegee the living hell out of it, and there's still going to be moisture left between the film and the glass. The only way that it can go away is by sitting outside in the sun and boiling and evaporating and stuff. That's the streaky marks and haziness that you see. I don't know where people are getting this new tint that you don't have to wait days for it to roll down. But some people get so blown, and it's such a deal breaker whenever they have to wait 3 to 5 days to roll their windows down. But nothing's changed. It's still the same thing. Obviously, the warmer that it is, the less time you have to wait for it to dry. So if you don't ever want to wait to have to roll your windows down and want to minimize the time as much as possible, get it done during the summer. That way you don't have to worry about waiting 3, 4, 5 days for it to dry. So right now we're getting ready to install the windshield for this guy. We're about to spray some gel. This bottle's loud, by the way. We're about to spray some gel around the edges. This gel basically just acts as like a barrier to prevent from stuff washing in. So it gives us a cleaner install. I'll give you your side. We already got the 50% film right here. We rolled it up already. You just got to spray this, get it on there, and then once you spray the water, we're going to start rolling it. Usually, well, really just depends. Sometimes you can get away with installing windshields with one person, but recently we've been doing it a lot with 2 people. It's just so much cleaner and so much easier. And it honestly kind of like speeds up the process too, because one person will have to sit here and get it all the way over there and make sure it doesn't fall, work around the mirror and everything. But with 2 people, you kind of just like hand half of it over and then deal with the other half, and then you're good. But yeah, it's all personal preference, but that's just the way we've been doing it lately, and we kind of like it. What's that smell? It smells fruity in here. The guys at the shop have been using different slip solution, so they're migrating away from the good old reliable baby shampoo, and whatever they're using smells very like fruity and scenty. I don't know if I like it. Just pull it like you normally would. There you go. This is my baby shampoo. This is a different spray bottle. I've been trying a new one. Actually, I think I was trying this last week. It's not bad. It's all right. It kind of just feels like soft. It doesn't feel like aggressive. It kind of just lets out like a little fun mist. Something crazy. So right now, we got it laid. We did the first pass. Doing a second pass, trying to get as much water as I can out. That way it can be that one-day dry tint that people talk about online. These Rams, they have their ECU, or they call it their BCM, their body control module. It sits underneath the driver's steering wheel. So we got to use these ropes, dash towels, and cover the computer underneath the steering wheel, because if it gets any sorts of water, the truck won't start, electronics will start malfunctioning. And then these Rams also have this leather stitching right here. I don't know if you can get closer and show it on the camera, but these dashes have these the stitched leather on them, and if they get wet, they start swelling up and the dash will start curling, it'll start bubbling, you'll get all sorts of like funny like damage on it. But yeah, so we had to use towel, soak rope, towels underneath the dash, just to make sure nothing messes up with the dash itself, and obviously nothing messes up with the electronics on the truck. So two things I wanted to point out is that a lot of times when customers bring their vehicles in, they don't notice a lot of stuff on the exterior of their windshield, right? And then whenever we tint it, we add this darker shade on the glass, it all of a sudden becomes more noticeable. So customers will be like, oh, there's like a scratch in my tint or whatever. And it's like, no, it's on the outside of your glass. And it's like, oh, that wasn't there before. And it's when it was completely clear and transparent, you wouldn't notice it. Once we tint it, add that darker background, it becomes more noticeable. So with that being said, right here, there's a scratch going all the way across. And you can see it's right in the same exact track of the wiper blade. So at some point in time, either A, the car was dirty for a while and the wipers were used, or there was something stuck on the wiper that got drug, or even the wiper blades were old and they scratched the window. But that's what's going on right here. And then also rock chips. So right here, you can see where a rock chip was filled in. And it's earlier when we pulled it in, it wasn't that noticeable. Now that we have the darker background, it is 10 times more noticeable. So that's one thing to keep in mind if you ever want to get your windshield tinted. Any imperfection on the outside of the glass is probably going to become 10 times more noticeable once you put some shade on there. So don't forget that. Pulled the ram out. She started first time. You know why? Because we covered all the electronics and covered the dash up. The amount of times I like seeing like tint forums where like people will get these trucks tinted, or even other shop owners will like put in the tint forums like, hey, I just tinted this ram and it won't start, or the truck won't unlock, the key fob ain't working, or the screens are black. And it's literally because they don't cover anything up. They use so much water and then just let it be, and then wonder what went wrong. If you're watching this and you drive a Ram or any sorts of like new Mopar, actually, they all have them. Just make sure the electronics get taken care of and covered up before you get it tinted. That way you can avoid a catastrophe. We did 20 on the two fronts on this one, 50 on the windshield. It's a very good like OEM plus setup. It looks factory, it doesn't look too dark, but you get all like the benefits out of it. I'd say the only thing I would have done if it was my truck is probably added the back windows. Let's go check her out. I don't know if your camera can pick this up. This is a very good angle. That moisture marks, the moisture streaks we were talking about earlier, you can see it right here. It's all on the glass. Just remember, can't roll the windows down for 3 to 5 days. At least here, it looks like it's going to thunderstorm and pour really, really bad. So for this customer, we're probably just going to tell them just to wait for the 5 days. We put a bright orange sticker on the inside of the car that reminds you not to roll the windows down. So yeah, but the same thing applies to all the windows, minus the windshield. The windshield is the one exception. The windshield is going to take about 5 to 7 days for it to dry. It does take a little bit longer just because it's a larger pane of glass, right? There's more moisture between it that needs to dry. Between the film and the glass, that is. But yeah, hopefully this customer likes it. We'll see what he thinks when he comes and picks it up later. So this customer was the Tahoe we were talking about earlier. He wants the tint removed on his two fronts and on his whole windshield. I don't know what the specific reason as to why he wants to remove. I believe he wants to go darker and he wants a better quality film. He was also complaining about some things on his tint that he was unhappy with. I think he just bought the vehicle. There's like spots like right here on the windshield where there's glue. There's a bunch of other stuff on the windows. But right now, while it's hot outside and it's sitting in the sun, we're going to see if we can get away with just pulling it off real quick. Sometimes we get lucky and we're able to pull it off and it leaves no glue behind. Other times we don't get lucky and it leaves glue and it's a nightmare. But yeah, I'm about to try that real quick. Oh no. It's coming off in 2 pieces. Stabbed myself. Smell the cheap tint. It smells so bad. So I was able to get it off. It left very minimal glue along the edges where the film was already starting to fade. It's kind of hard to see out here. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. I'll take it. It's definitely a win. Usually when it's like all bubbled, faded, turned purple and stuff like that, it'll leave glue on the whole window. We got to sit there and scrape it off. But I consider this one a win. I'll take it. A lot of customers also ask us if they can get their windshield tinted with a rock chip. Rule of thumb for us is, it's raining, it's coming down. But rule of thumb is, as long as it's not pouring, not pouring, as long as it's not spreading, we can get away with tinting it, but it will be more noticeable. So just keep that in mind. It can be tinted, it'll be more noticeable. Just make sure it's not spider webbing. And yeah, we can tint over it. And one thing we do is we offer you a no-fault warranty. So what that means is if you got to get that windshield replaced, we'll be more than happy to reinstall the tint on there free of charge for you one time after you get that glass replaced. So tint came off pretty good, not bad, didn't leave too much glue. Right now we're going to go ahead and prep the outside of the windshield, start shrinking the windshield, get installed on the inside. This customer wants 20% on the windshield, so it's kind of dark, but it's what they want. And then we're going to do 5% on the 2 front doors for them. So I just sprayed some butter, is what we call it here.
Said that 4 times.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I really? Then I sprayed the butter. I said that 4 times.
5 now.
So right now I'm spreading the butter on the windshield. This right here is going to allow us to put the film on the outside, mold it to the curvature of the glass. If we don't apply this butter, it's going to end up getting stuck to the windshield, which is what we don't want. We want it to get stuck whenever we kind of like say so. That way we can mold it to the curvature of the glass. We don't have to worry about getting creases and whatnot on the tint itself before we install it.
Pressure make diamonds, so I'm covered in ice. Got me out for the whole pie, I don't want a slice. In a room full of bad girls, that's not my type. Cause I'm married to the game, baby, that's my wife. Whole board getting wiped down, we don't play light. Never psyched out, 100 proof, everything's spiked. All boxes getting checked off, cause that's what I like. Got wings.
So this truck here, we're able to pull the seals out as you saw. It just has 1 screw behind the door handle. And once we do that, we just gotta pop the clips up top. And then we're able to bottom load it. So this is one of the nicer, easier trucks to do. This window's sticky though. When it's sticky, it doesn't let the film slide. So you have to use a little bit of extra water so it doesn't get caught and whatnot. Bam, 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 bam. All right, so right here, all this stuff that you're seeing is material that's still extra. So it needs to be shrunk. That's what I'm gonna go through is just shrink that little bit of extra material so it confirms to the glass. So this is the same thing we did on that Ram truck. It's just a different shade. So we're about to speed right through this, get this one knocked out, and we'll get back with you guys.
Big stacks break off the whole team when you hear the bird. That's the money machine, big name, all caps, long paper, tall green. Can't you hear the bird? That's the money machine. Big stacks break off the whole team when you hear the bird. That's the money machine, big name, all caps, long paper, tall green.
Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. We still got the whole front end of this Corvette, the PPF. It's going to take a while to do that, so we won't film the rest of that, but appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys are interested in getting your windows tinted, you already know who to call. Reach out to us over at NVS Customs. Thank you for watching another video. He's never working, man. He's always just hanging out. He's like the shop cat.